Hey everyone, my name is Liam and today we're going to talk about the bad things that you're going to have to deal with if you want to be a streamer. This is a two-part video where we're going to talk about both sides and hopefully we can bring up a few points that you may not have considered before you make your decision to invest your time into the rabbit hole that is streaming. There's a lot of real negatives to being a streamer, as there's a lot I wish I knew before I got started, which may have affected my decision to do what I do. So I hope this video brings a few things to light that you may not have known. I've been streaming myself for around 15 months now or so and have found moderate success. Success is relative and very much depends on your goals as a streamer, as you'll see some people who stream for a month and get partnered, and then you'll see some people who stream for 5 years and not get partnered. Before we go any further, I don't want to discourage anyone. I just want to be honest and realistic about what you guys will face as a streamer. There are plenty of videos out there telling you how to be successful, but I want to show you guys the other side of the coin. So let's start with the whole getting partnered thing. If you start streaming because you want to get paid to play video games, and that is all you're interested in, then in my honest opinion, it's not worth it. Twitch are constantly upping their guidelines on what they want to approve partnership. You're going to roughly want at least 100 concurrent viewers for every single stream. It's something we'll touch on later, but that is something that's incredibly difficult to achieve. Say you achieve the impossible and you get it partnered. Most streamers get around $2.50 or so from a subscription. And as you get bigger, some of the bigger streamers cut their own deals and they get more. But obviously bills vary. But say you need $1,000 a month to pay your bills and to sustain yourself from streaming exclusively. Then you'll need around 400 concurrent subs, not including donations, tips, you know, that kind of thing. But you'll need around 400 concurrent subs to get you going. And the main point of me saying that is I want you guys to realise the mammoth task you have ahead of you as a streamer if you want to do this to make money. It is impossible. It's possible now with services like GameWisp for non-partnered streamers to gain money, but you still need that viewer base to get that level of income. That is just the money side of things. If you are in it for the start for money, then you'll be very unlikely to achieve the goals just down to having the wrong mindset about why you're doing this. People can spot insincerity a mile away, and if you tell your community that you love them and you're doing it all for them when you're really just about the money, people will spot that and you just won't achieve your goals. Now we should probably talk about the workload. If you think you can just download OBS or XSplit, hit start stream and then take over the world, you're very much mistaken. The amount of hours a week I put into streaming and all the things that come with it far extends past the stream itself. This is just my personal schedule as an example, but this is to give you an idea of how much work goes in behind the scenes on a weekly basis. So I get up at 4 AM and I go to work. I get home at 10 AM and then I spend an hour setting up everything for the stream, XSplit, Twitch alerts, audio, tweeting out about the stream, setting up the bot, all that sort of stuff. Then I stream for around 3 to 4 hours. Once the stream ends, I check the VOD for mistakes, tech issues, things I could do better. And then I get to work on whatever's going on with YouTube. I work on editing, writing scripts for videos like this, whatever needs doing. I also run a podcast, and that requires multiple hours of work for things like researching for the topics, dealing with guests, all that kind of stuff. So on average, not including the stream time itself, I spend a minimum of 30 hours a week, I would say, if not more, working on my stream and my other stuff that goes with it. And that's not including the time I spend networking with other streamers, trying to support other people and help other people out. Like I said, this is a personal example, but the point is to run a professional stream of high quality, your hours far extend beyond the time you're actually live on air. And this itself doesn't include all the prep work you'll need to get a stream up and running in the first place. Whilst a lot of stuff isn't necessary at the beginning, things like a bot that moderates your chat, moderators themselves, notifications, alerts, panels, overlays, video audio settings within your streaming program. It all takes time to get set up, and it takes maintenance to have a professional quality stream that always needs to be improved. Oh, and if you want to have a professional setup like some of your favourite content creators that you watch now, the equipment they use, it isn't cheap. Microphones, mixers, computers that run games as well as stream them, even dual PC setups, consoles, all this stuff all costs money. Sound equipment, like soundproofing. And again, this is stuff you might not need at the start to get yourself going, but these are costs that you need to consider because Twitch have certain guidelines on the quality they expect before they will allow partnership. So if your audio is not above a certain level, then you won't get the partnership. So let's talk about the biggest problem with being a streamer and a personality on the internet in general. And it's trolls, haters, whatever you'd like to call them, bullies, the people who go out of their way to try and ruin your day because their own lives are shitty. It's something that everyone has to deal with and something that can ruin you if you let it. I'm going to do a separate video at some point talking about trolls and the negativity towards you in general. But this is something you should be acutely aware of before you decide to get into content creation. Because no matter how hard you work, no matter how much of your heart and soul you put into something, there are people out there who are looking to bring you down and make you feel worthless. If you don't have thick skin and if you don't have a way of coping with it, then this can really push you to the limit. People will come into your chat and say horrible things about the way you play games, your ability. If you're overweight, people will ridicule you for it. And people will probably stop by who are racist, homophobic, and generally just not nice. And they'll say generally offensive things just to try and get a reaction out of you. Every single streamer or YouTuber I've ever talked to, male or female, has dealt with trolls and being bullied online in some capacity. And sadly, it seems like female streamers have to deal with it on a far more regular basis than what the male streamers do. There are several high-profile cases of people quitting their careers on Twitch and YouTube over it, and it's something I'd like to look into in more detail at some point, but it's something that you need to be aware of. As for Twitch itself, don't go into streaming thinking you'll get any support or handouts, because you won't. Twitch does nothing to support small streamers starting out, and no matter what you play, you're pretty much going to be buried at the bottom of the list of other streamers all trying to get where you want to be too. The way that Twitch's systems work are set up so that the streams with the top viewers for a game is at the top and the lowest are at the bottom. So it's very much a case of the rich getting richer. There are ways to help promote yourself, again, which I will look at in another video, but streaming is a constant uphill battle with incredible amounts of competition, and unless you have a completely unique idea, then you're going to have to work your way up and it's going to take a long time. And as you see success, don't expect it to be constant. Growth is a constant stream of peaks and dips. You may have a fantastic stream with a bunch of new follows, hosts, donations, but then you may not get any for ages, days, maybe even weeks. It can be disheartening, and whether you care about the numbers or not, when things aren't going your way, it's only natural to get disheartened. Once you've invested yourself heavily into something, which, if you want to succeed, is necessary, then you will likely feel down about yourself and the lack of growth. There's one other point I'd like to make before we wrap up. As I've said earlier, to be successful on Twitch or on YouTube, it takes an incredible amount of time and sacrifice. Your free time and personal life can often be consumed by what you do, whether that's a lack of time to get to spend with loved ones or friends, or just a lack of sleep, which is also really common on Twitch. If this is something that doesn't bother you too much, then great. When you love what you do, you don't mind making the sacrifices, because honestly, like in my case, I have so much fun doing what I do, then I don't really feel like it's a job or a chore. But it is something you'll have to consider, that if you put your time into streaming, that time has to come at the sacrifice of something else. So I just wanted to wrap up by saying that just because of these reasons here, I'm not saying that running a successful stream is impossible. If to you success is making some friends who share your passion in gaming, then that's absolutely achievable. If you want to get into a position where you can make a living from being a content creator, then that is something else entirely. You'll see a lot of get-rich-quick videos on YouTube telling you how to get loads of followers, how to be successful. Whilst there are a lot of things you can do to bolster your chances, I think it's important to know what you're up against on your weird and wonderful journey. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Is there anything you think I've missed? Anything you've encountered during your time on Twitch or YouTube? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.